What's up, Stokers? Before we begin this podcast, I want to let you know that we are going on tour. We got new dates that are up on the website. I'm talking Hawaii, which ticket link isn't available yet, but it will be available after July 4th. So probably now that you're listening to this, what up? We're going to Nashville, Chicago, North Carolina, South Carolina, New York. We got a lot of dates coming up. Check out tickets at chadandjt.com. We're also going to be at the Hollywood Improv on July 27th if you're in LA. Get tickets at chadandjt.com. Come see us live. What up, dudes? We're also brought to you by the legends at Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims peeled, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dinks are looking fresh and clean because, hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You got bush? You definitely do if you haven't tried the best products from our favorite sponsor, Manscaped. What up? Taking control of your bush is important. You got a big old bush and you want to make sure that it's manicured and fresh. And you want to make sure that you got the best nut sack on your cul-de-sac. Save big and be the most hygienic version of yourself by using our discount code GODEEP for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. All right, let's start the show.
What's with deep? Going deep. Chad and JT.
So is the cherry, does that have sugar in it?
No.
Wow.
Zero sugar. Zero carbs.
How did they do that in soda? How do they make it so that it's
Just
sugarless and
You know-
calorie-less? And
Yeah, I think it's sugarless, calorieless, and way worse for you.
Probably.
It's just chemicals. I remember when we were in Texas. I was just sucking down Diet Cokes and not drinking beers. And Joe's like, "It's probably way worse for you." I'm like, "Yeah, you're probably right."
yeah, depending.
Probably is. It has more caffeine than regular Coke, by the way.
Really
Diet Coke, yeah.
interesting.
I mean, worse for you from like maybe a like biological health perspective,
The
but from
chemicals,
like
yeah.
everyone's things are different. Like some
Yeah.
people, soda's a better alternative than booze, and for some people, booze might be a better alternative.
I love Diet Coke.
Our friend Robbie, he's like not drinking now. He just fucking houses Diet Coke.
Oh yeah, he and I were bonding over that. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
And-
like, "Dude, I love Diet Coke." I was like, "Dude,
My brother
I love you."
That's sweet. That's nice. My brother sent me a video of him just ordering a pitcher.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Dude, that sounds amazing. I gotta do that.
He got a pitcher of Diet Coke. Like
Yeah.
everybody else was doing pitchers of beer. He's like, just give me a pitcher of Diet Coke.
Dude, that's awesome.
Went hard on it.
What a legend.
Yeah, he's awesome. We just got a dub in Call of Duty like 30 minutes ago. So,
Oh, you guys got a dub?
oh yeah, good one.
Were you in the Caldera?
No, Rebirth. The new
You're
Rebirth. There's a new Rebirth
there's-
map.
What's the new Rebirth?
I forget the name of it, but it's cool. It kind of feels like Strider called it out. He said it feels like a city from Croatia, but I forget what the name of the city is. I'll look it up.
Wow. Croatia.
Every time he says it, I'm like, where is that? He's like, Croatia. I'm like, that's awesome.
Dubrovnik.
It's Dubrovnik.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Dude,
That's
I was
it.
joking there.
You got it.
Well, why don't you flick the bell end and call me Ted? Because what's up, Stokers of Stoke Nation? This is Chad Kroger coming in with the Going Deep with Chad JT podcast. I'm here with my compadre, Jean Thomas. What up?
Boom clap, Stokers.
We're here with the emissary of audio engineering,
Ooh.
Aaron Brungart. Welcome.
Thanks. Call sign cream. Signing in.
Oh yeah, call sign cream. Dude, when was the last time you creamed? Last night?
No.
Nah.
Yesterday, though.
Nice. Well, what up?
What up, dude?
You look comfy on that couch.
Thank you, brother. Feel comfy.
Yeah. Now we're here. It's Friday afternoon. We got 4th of July coming up. What are your plans? What are you doing?
Dude, so tomorrow, which is Saturday, I'm going to a beer pong tournament at Corey Lacosix from the pod. Dear friend of the pod, dear friend in regular life. Good dude. Gonna be some good beer pong he can play.
Oh, dude, he can rip.
And then that night I got a show at Jimmy Barry's, the guy who works with Friday Beers. He's doing a show.
Oh, nice.
So I'm gonna go do that. And then Sunday, Brandon Norman's having a party. I'm going to that.
Nice.
And then Monday, my girlfriend's having a party, and I'm going to that.
Oh, she's having a party.
Mm-hmm. She's having a
Nice.
little shindig.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. We went out on Thursday. or Wednesday rather, and she bought a new grill.
Right, yeah.
To
What
cook
kind of
up on
grill?
it. I don't even know.
My girlfriend loves to shop. It's like her favorite thing.
Really?
She gets so excited by it. I post up on that couch hard. I just sort of beeline it, and I'll be like, "Yeah, it's good. No, it's not good. I like that. Don't like that."
Well, that's nice.
I kind of because I'm interested in like fashion and stuff. So she'll be like, she'll just come out and try stuff on. I'm like, "Yeah, it's good. No good. No good." I'm just sitting on the couch, just like on Twitter.
That's fun.
Yeah, but no, I have the same thing. I think I have when I'm shopping for myself, I get overwhelmed because I don't know. I think I'm thinking about a combination of like spending money, and then I'm just overwhelmed by the options, and then I'm just like, am I actually gonna wear this? Am I gonna, that's a big thing. Is like, am I actually gonna wear it? Because you can try something on, and you're like, yeah, this is sick. There's a world where I could see myself wearing this, like in Cabo or something. And then you buy it, and then you totally forget about it. Yeah.
No, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
You buy stuff that's like at the edge of your like sensibility. Like you put it on and you're like, oh, this does look good, but this would mean that I'm becoming like a different version of me. Like I'm presenting as like a new style, a new association, and you're like, am I ready for that?
Right.
Like, am I ready to be Cowboy Chad or Tommy Bahama Chad or like military adjacent Chad? Those are all big swings to take.
Huge decisions. Yeah.
And you can go down that path, but you don't want to be halfway about it. And then a lot of times you get home and cooler heads prevail, and you're like, all right, I'm just gonna throw on the Hurley t-shirt and the blue jeans and rock it.
Dude, that's literally. I always go back to the J. Crew essential tees. I'm just like, I'll try. I try, but it's hard not to go with Vans, pants, and the tee.
A lot of icons, they're simple in their style.
Yeah,
like Steve Jobs,
Tom Cruise,
Louis always just wears a black t-shirt.
Yeah,
they keep it streamlined.
Well, because whenever I see people, who look like they're following sort of like what a, fashion magazine sort of told them to dress like or something, where they're wearing like a lot of different accessories and layers and stuff, and it looks like they're trying too hard. That's like the way bigger turnoff than just bad clothes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where it's sort of like, I'm going to wear a flannel, and then I'm going to wear like a beanie to the side like this, and then all this shit. And, I just like, and I think I always sort of like, whenever I shop for clothes, I fear being that guy.
Who is that guy again?
Just the guy who's like, following all the current fashion trends.
Oh yeah, no, that's awful.
Yeah.
No, you want to exist independent of that.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to be the guy who's on the cutting edge of fashion.
But also the guy, it's like the guy who's like wearing clothes where I'm like, he doesn't look comfortable. It's like if you wear like a shirt and a cardigan over that, and it's like, but I'm like, it doesn't look comfortable to me. I think I like comfort a lot.
No, you want to be functional. You want to be able to move.
Yeah.
No, that's a big part of it. When I was like 24, I was pushing the style.
Yeah.
Like I was wearing cardigans and stuff like that, and like sexy boots and designer jeans. And at a certain point, I was like, it's just not me.
Yeah.
I want to dress like a hip young dad who coaches his kid's sports team.
I like that.
That's my look.
Dude, you should get a cell phone carrier for your belt.
Whoa.
Where it's like clips on.
I'll for sure do that.
Dude,
that sounds great, dude.
Dude, if you do stand up in that, you walk up on stage, you clip it out, put it on the bar stool.
The stool. Well, Rogan wears a fanny pack.
Oh, he does?
I don't know if he does. He doesn't do it on stage, but most days he wears a fanny pack.
Interesting.
Yeah. He's taking big swings out there. He's taking chances. I was at the Comedy Store on Tuesday night, and I went into the little back area, where people hang out and like smoke weed. And I was smoking some weed back there with Craig Conant and some other cool guys. And then the guy next to me is a shrooms guy. Like he just makes shrooms. Dude, have you seen how far they've gone with shrooms now?
No.
He's like, okay, so this is like shrooms juicy fruit. It's like juicy fruits, but you eat them like that. He's like, these are like shroom gummy bears, and these are like, literally, he was like, these are like shroom meatballs. Not actually the meatballs.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't have said literally. But he was like, there. It's like, I think because weed's legal now, all the creativity that used to go into taking weed into fun directions, it's not fun anymore because it's just established.
Yeah.
So now it's the next drug. And so now it's like all the different things you can put shrooms in.
Right.
I did get his number. I was like, this is a good person to know. And I was talking to him like he was a genius.
Right.
But in my head, I was also like, you are kind of dumb, but you're a genius.
Right.
But I was like, dude, that's amazing, bro.
Yeah.
And he had like probably 6 different food iterations that he had condensed mushrooms into.
Wow. Interesting. I'm confused by shrooms because people are like making them so out in the open like that. They're like, here's my chocolate shroom bar. And they're like posting about it on the internet. What's the deal with shrooms now? Are they legal? I don't understand.
They're legal in some states,
Some
right?
states, yeah.
Oregon is legal.
Right.
It's not totally legal, but I do think there's some drugs that the cops just aren't as invested in stopping.
It's like decriminalized. Is that what they are?
It might be at that stage in some places, yeah.
They're also not distributed in bricks. So
They're not kiloed up.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
No, you don't see that very often. But now that
Kilo
they're-
mushroom.
at some point shrooms are going to be all the way legal, and then they'll start condensing other drugs into foods.
Yeah.
Like they'll be like, dude, this is a heroin gummy bear. Take it.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh, it's a gummy bear, so it can't be that bad.
Dude, heroin gummy bear sounds nice.
And then I'm hooked on that age.
You guys ever had meth and cheese? Mac and cheese.
I mean, I've done both separately, but you're saying you can combine the two?
That would be pretty
You're
sick.
saying science is here for you.
Dude,
It's
are you
getting there.
telling me? Are you trying to tell me right now that you can eat mac and cheese that has meth in it? Whoa,
Someday.
dude, that's the future. That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
What?
Being on meth.
Yeah, it seems like a tough life. Not a lot of people can sustain it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm so overstimulated now these days. You know, by my phone and then shit and da 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 and stuff. To be on meth, it's like to stimulate myself that much, or I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, you don't even sleep for 4 or 5 days?
Oh, dude.
No way.
Well, that's the thing too with just doing anything these days. For me, at least, I can't. If I'm gonna be hungover, it ruins multiple days for me.
Yeah, and a meth hangover is probably a gut punch.
Yeah,
That's going to be tougher.
yeah. I have to talk to some people about it, see what they think.
My friend Greg one time, not Greg Giebel, another Greg, him and his lady were going to do Molly together, and they bought it off a pretty dicey dealer, and they were in the hotel room, and they had a drug kit tester,
Mm-hmm.
and they tested it, and it said meth, and they just still did the meth, and then just...
They did it.
Yeah.
What they do?
They just did meth in a hotel room and boned a lot.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. He said it was fun.
Really?
Yeah, he said he had a great time, but he said he couldn't come, but that he was extremely invigorated by it.
What, like his dick?
Yeah, crystal dick. I've heard about that at sex addict meetings.
Whoa.
You're not like fully hard, but you're like 4/5 hard for like hours.
Sounds like a nightmare.
I
Yeah,
think,
it
yeah,
does, yeah.
for some people, it's both. It's a twisted fantasy nightmare. Wait, what are you doing for 4th of July? Or sorry, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I used to, and I guess I do have those fantasies a little bit now of like partying hard, but like, I used to be like, oh, I'm gonna reward myself with just like a fat rager, just getting hammered and stuff. But now it's just like, I'm gonna reward myself. I'm gonna get some cookies and watch like a Nicolas Cage movie.
It's beautiful.
That's what I love.
Yeah,
these
simple
days.
pleasures.
Yeah.
I accidentally got my mom into edibles.
Oh, nice.
I just got some from a comedian that I work with who has a brand. And he's a very well-known guy.
But you gave her edibles not unknowingly, or you got her
I gave her
into them?
those just because she wanted them,
Mhm.
which was a shock in its own. And now she's like super into them. It's weird.
Oh, she's a stoner?
I wouldn't call her that, but I don't know. It's bizarre.
Is she
My
watching
mom was like-
basketball a lot?
It's a funny movie.
It is. Just like, it's just weird to see someone who your whole life was like, don't ever do anything. And she never did anything. And she was with my dad, and my dad was the only man she was ever with for her entire life, like sexually. So for this person to be like, yeah, I was just popping edible and watch CNN for a while. It's like, Mom, what?
Watch CNN?
I don't know. I mean, she watches a lot of CNN, but
Yeah.
That's cool though. So she's still experimenting. She's still trying things. For the first time ever. Are you worried that it's a slippery slope and that it'll lead to...
No, I'm not worried about that. It's just a bizarre flip in her brain that I didn't see coming.
What's she like when she's stoned?
It's giggly.
My friend Dan said it was like hard for him the first time he got stoned with his dad because his dad's a pretty, not like uptight, but pretty put together doctor. And his dad got stoned. And my brother asked him, he's like, what was it like when your dad was stoned? He's like, dude, he was like an idiot. He was like talking about how trees are cool. I think it was a little jarring for him to see his, the patriarch of the family turned into like a 19-year-old kid in college, just being like, bro, you ever notice like branches are weird?
Yeah.
And I guess he was a little judgy about it, but understandably so.
Yeah, I think that comes with old age too. It's just sort of like a switch in mindset. Well, especially nowadays with like where weed's at in the culture. So it's to the point where it's like so it's everywhere. It's almost like people are like, why are you not doing weed?
Yeah. And also like they're old enough to where they're like, well, I'm not gonna get hooked on heroin after this.
Yeah.
But even if I did, who cares?
Dude, I think my dad's stoned would be pretty funny. I think he'd be like, bro, I do surgery. Is that nuts? Like, cut a dude open. Can you imagine being a surgeon? You're like, if you're like stoned the night before you have to do heart surgery, you're like, oh fuck, dude, I gotta saw through this guy's sternum.
That does happen when I get stoned. If we have like a big day planned the next day,
yeah,
I'll be like, and we can talk about this. I got stoned. We did our first day of acting on the Rob Lowe show Unstable, the John Lowe and Rob Lowe show.
Yeah, and
I got stoned the day before. But it was like 3 PM. I had like 24 hours to not be stoned. But I was stoned and I was like, holy shit, I'm going to be acting in front of people tomorrow.
Yeah.
I was like, they're going to be filming me. And then my brain was like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And then I just had to have like another voice come through in my head and be like, bro, relax.
Yeah.
We're just going to be like this for a couple hours and then everything will be fine by tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it was. But if you do have stuff that's coming up.
Yeah.
And I hadn't even been thinking about it. I wasn't even nervous about it. And then I got stoned and I got flooded with anxiety. And it was like, bro, you're going to look stupid tomorrow. And I was like, oh. But then you just kind of ride it out. And you're like, all right, I got this.
Dude, I have that because I smoked that one time like a couple months ago. And I was sort of like, oh, I'm going to, experiment with it a little bit more and stuff. But now that we have this, in the next month, we have those shoot days. My girlfriend will be like, do you want to smoke? I'm like, no. I have to act in 3 weeks.
You're on top of it.
I'm going to be thinking about it.
That was fun acting.
It's so fun.
We only did one day, but we shot like a big scene for our characters in the show.
It's so fun.
And it's interesting with acting too. I don't know if people know this, but like you don't shoot the whole scene at once. You shoot it in like chunks. So like we'll shoot our part first, and then if we're acting with Rob Lowe, we shoot his part second. And that 3 pages of dialogue takes place over 3 hours.
Yeah.
And for the first hour and a half, it was us. And Rob was acting well, but when someone's not getting their coverage, which means the camera's not on them, you don't, and you have to do this, most actors do this, I was close to all, you don't commit or say it the way you're actually going to say it because you don't want to waste your energy. It's crazy how much acting drains you. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even make sense. You're like, I'm just saying words, but like to be good at it, you really do have to like do it in a way that makes you tired.
Yeah.
And so he's acting and I'm acting off of him and I'm like, yeah, Rob Lowe's a pretty good actor, no big deal. And I'm acting, I'm like, I think I'm doing good. I think I might be acting better than Rob Lowe.
Yeah.
Crazy thoughts like that. Then we switch to Rob Lowe's angle and dude, the fucking guy is brilliant. He like comes alive and like each line is like, its own like exciting little journey. And then I saw what really good actors can do is that when I'm doing my lines at this point, I'm trying to get it right.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right, this is the line they wrote for me. Say it right. But that's not great acting. Great acting is like
we experiment with it.
You experiment and it goes beyond the page. And then I saw him make mistakes and then turn those mistakes into like better than what any of us could have thought the line was going to be just because he was present.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, this guy's a fucking good. And then what's the lady's name from Fleabag who we're acting with?
Sean something.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
And then I just watched her and And actors are funny too because they're hard on themselves. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So she'd be like, "That was terrible." I'd be like, "Nah, you're like a good actor."
Yeah.
It's like blown away by both of them.
Yeah.
I was like, "This is crazy." I think it'll make me a better actor in the long run. And then, and you know, it's nice we have each other. So even if my line's
Yeah.
not great, I'm like, "Chad will mop this up." But it was it was a cool experience. I don't think I've ever acted with people who are like, you know,
Yeah.
on that level.
I mean, there's parts where I was like, "It's fucking Rob Lowe." It's crazy.
That hit me after like a couple hours. I was like, "Oh, I'm acting in something with Rob Lowe. That's
Yeah.
pretty wild."
I know it's so because he normalize things so quickly, or just I do at least, where you just sort of like, you know, you just normalize in this thing, you know, you sort of get to a different thing and you're sort of like, yeah, that's whatever, you know. Whereas like a couple of years ago, it's like to think about where, you know, what we're doing right now, it would have blown my mind. But yeah, it is great. You're sort of, I was like, wait a second, we're acting with Rob Lowe. It's awesome because I've watched him for, you know,
Decades.
like my whole life. Austin Powers, then, you know,
Tommy
West
Boy.
Wing, Tommy Boy, Parks and Rec,
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. He's been in my life since I've been like, you know, 6-7 years old.
Behind the Candelabra. Thank You for Smoking. He's
Yeah.
amazing in all of it.
Yeah,
It's weird
Yeah.
too because like, just like so many actors are so good.
yeah,
Like even the people who are doing background in our scene.
yeah. They were
I was
really
like,
good.
I was like, "You're good.
Yeah.
You're good."
Yeah.
I was like, "It's crazy."
Yeah,
Like they all know how to act.
Yeah.
I don't know how to act yet. I'm
Yeah.
learning, but I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, I consider myself more like someone else. But I'm just
Yeah.
like, I'm like watching everybody. I'm like, fucking hell, dude, get it.
Yeah.
And you know why else I don't think it feels crazy is because
Yeah.
when you get there, everyone treats you like you belong.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like the PA picks you up in a golf cart. They drive to your little trailer.
Yeah, yeah.
They do your clothes fitting for you, and everyone just acts like you're supposed to be there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like no one looks at you and they're like, "This is crazy, huh?" So
Yeah.
you're just like, "Oh, it's all normal."
yeah, totally. It's so fun. That's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, you
By
love
far.
acting.
I
You're so
love
good at it.
Oh, thanks, man. So are you. It's so fun. It's just fun to get creative with it. When you like know that, and you're like, then you like find a new way to do it. It's like fun. It's so like joyful. I think
It's really fun.
I love it. Yeah, it's cool. What was I gonna say? I forget.
But your 4th of July plans.
Oh yeah. Gonna go to Newport. I think we're gonna stand up paddle and like around the harbor.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm gonna try to at least see if I can rent a couple stand up paddle boards. Go for a bike ride. Maybe watch Independence Day. I think we're probably going to see some of her friends in Newport. You know, around there. But nothing like concrete. I just want to do summer. I want to have summer days. I want to get some fireworks. You know, they have like those stands they have like the stands where you can buy those like legal fireworks. So I'm gonna buy a bunch of those and just light those off, eat some hot dogs, and watch Independence Day, and then probably go out a little bit. So
Fuck yeah. That sounds
Yeah.
perfect.
yeah, summer day.
What about you, Aaron?
We're gonna go to Santa Barbara because apparently they have an awesome zoo.
Oh,
I'll take
nice.
the kid there.
Have you taken her to a zoo yet?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Was she? Does she get stoked? Is she old enough?
When I took her, she was probably too small to be stoked, but she's been going a lot since then. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Dude, I put up a quandary on Instagram.
Oh yeah. What
I've
was
been
the
ruminating on
consensus?
I think some people misunderstood what I was asking a little bit because I didn't specify whether. So I asked, well, what do you think is more embarrassing to call yourself, an artist or a creative?
Mm-hmm.
But I think some people thought I just meant creative as an adjective, whereas I meant it as a noun, where people say I am a creative, not
Right.
I am creative.
Yeah.
And it came to me because I was doing a show on Monday at the Kibitz Room, which was really fun. Dude, it's so funny. Comics are so mean to each other. I'm hanging out with Matty Chimbor, who's hilarious, guys. Check him out. He's such a funny guy. And
Softball teammate.
he plays softball with you. He's pretty good at softball, right? He played D2 college, right?
Hit a homer yesterday. Yeah.
Let's fucking
Wow.
go, Matty. Me and him are chilling. We're talking. Our buddy Latif is doing a set. And then a fucking heckler comes in and just is like because Mickey Avalon, the My Dick guy, was doing a concert next door.
Yeah.
Line just out the door. I didn't know he was still so popular, but
Yeah.
the guy's got staying power. Some crazy fan from his thing comes into our little stand-up show and just starts like dancing and screaming at Lateef when he's on stage. And Lateef is handling it, but clearly would be happier if it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
Right when the guy comes, Maddie and me have been talking during Lateef's whole set, not paying attention. Right when the guy comes in and starts fucking with Lateef, without even thinking, Maddie just pulls out his phone and starts taking video and photos of it. Then just puts it away and comes back to the conversation with me. Like, he just had a radar. He's like, oh, my friend's being fucked with.
Yeah.
I better chronicle this moment. And and then me and Maddie were going to drive to the Comedy Store and hang out. And then before we got there, we both realized we didn't want to do that. And we just drove home. But it was we were chatting in the car. And Maddie likes to talk shit. He's so funny. We were talking about like pitching TV shows. And I was kind of telling him what our game plan is for it. And his impression of us pitching TV shows was so goddamn funny. He goes, he just jumps into it. He goes, he's pretend talking to whoever we're pitching to. He's like, you guys like tits? The show's about surfing. I laughed for like 5 minutes. But then I wanted to fuck with him, and he's like very against being pretentious.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, Maddie, are you an artist? He's like, no, shut up. I was like, you are an artist. And then he's like, I'm not an artist, dude. Shut up. And then I was like, well, what are you? He's like, I'm a creative. And I was like, that's more embarrassing.
Yeah.
So then I asked, I was like, what's more embarrassing, being a creative or an artist? And it was almost 50-50.
Really?
It was 53% people said artist, 47% creative. But I think it's more embarrassing to call yourself a creative.
I think artist.
Yeah, I think most of the people I've talked to say it's more embarrassing to call yourself an artist.
Yeah. Well, I remember when we first started like working together on stuff. You would refer to like, you know, our video, like, this is our art. And then I never thought about it that way. And I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, to me it's art.
Yeah.
And to me it's like, you know, it's not really up to you to decide if something's art. People and time kind of tell you.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty easy with what I consider art.
Right.
Even with who I consider artists.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you just live a romantic life, you're kind of living an artistic life.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like, I know, isn't the guy On the Road, the Jack Kerouac book, he calls, like, Dean Moriarty, his buddy, like, he was, like, the most artistic man I ever knew. And all he does is, like, drive around the country and, like, bang young chicks. And he thought that guy was an artist.
Yeah.
Just because he was living passionately, I guess. But but to call yourself a creative, like, it just seems so new to me. You know what I mean? It's like this new word that we've come up with, and it's like, who does that really describe? Like, I'm a creative. Like, what is?
I guess it's just different for me because I've had to redefine my idea of an artist because I grew up with a mom who's an artist. So my idea of an artist was like, you know, someone with a short haircut who drank wine and ate cheese. You know,
That's an artist for sure.
yeah. And so in turn, like, artists for me were just like sort of the people, you know, I would just go, like, my mom had a show and go to her gallery, or like her friends would come over, and they're just very like distinct, where they're just very like, these are artsy folks, you know what I mean? They're like eating cheese, drinking wine, and they're like, it was just a very, so I just viewed art as, you know, painting, drawing, photography, all that kind of sculpture. Yeah.
The traditional arts.
Yeah. That was always, I had it boxed in there. So I never, but until you sort of helped me sort of redefine it, I'm like, oh, art is different things. But yeah, that's what I sort of grew up with.
Yeah. And I don't even mean it like if I say like I'm an artist, I don't mean like I'm good at it or that like what I'm doing is like important.
Yeah.
I just mean like, I don't know. I don't even know what I mean by it.
Yeah.
I just feel it in my soul. I'm just like, I'm an artist. It's
Right.
just who I am.
Right.
It's so awful to call yourself that, though. It is awful. But I would feel worse calling myself a creative.
Creative.
Being like, I'm a creative.
Like, you're an established creative.
Or like, I guess if you call yourself an artist, you can suck. But if you call yourself a creative, to me, there sounds like there's a kind of like implied sophistication and like control to it, where it's like, I'm a creative. Like, I know how to move things in a way that is impactful. I don't know. It seems
It's interesting because it's the opposite for me.
I think it is for
It
most people.
sounds to me too. Artists would be higher, and a creative is just like I put stuff out there that might be lowbrow and sucky.
Yeah, it's sort of like I'm a person who professionally makes attempts at creativity.
Who makes stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess there's more to me. When I think artist, I don't really think of a successful person. I think of someone who's just like painting in their garage, and I'm like, that's an artist.
Who just
I'm
kind
like,
of lives creatively.
yeah. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, if that person's an artist, then. And then there's like, I don't think every stand-up is an artist, but a couple of them are, right? Like,
I don't know.
Louis was doing this great interview show in Canada with the guy who interviewing him got me too. I think he was being really, really gnarly. This guy, John Gameshi.
Yeah.
But he was fucking good in interviewing. Not important, but he was good. And he pushed Louis on it. Like Louis was like, I'm not an artist. And he's like, you're totally an artist. And Louis was like, nah, I'm not an artist. And
Yeah.
like really like, but I was like, of course Louis thinks he's an artist. Like,
Yeah.
get the fuck out of here, dude. You think you're an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess they're both
there's
kind of
episodes
versatile.
of Louis that would disagree with Louis' interpretation of that he's an artist.
Because they're good and they're artsy. Yeah, like his whole style is very like artsy. Whatever that means. And you just don't know even what people are going to like in some time, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Whenever I think of artsy, I just think of like a still shot and like a bass playing underneath. Like, doom, 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 doom. Here's a coffee shop. Dude, I got this new crystal in Santa Fe.
Whoa.
I felt way more creative because of it.
What kind of crystal? I bought a crystal. I bought two.
You bought two?
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, I don't even know what the crystal is.
I forget the ones I got too.
What do they look like?
One's like a blue orb and one's like a little pony, but he's made
Oh,
out
it's
of
a pony?
something.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Blue? What's blue? I don't know what blue is. I got my mom one.
Sapphire?
What's up?
Sapphire.
Might have been.
Sapphire. I got my mom a amethyst, which helps with meditation and grounding and creativity.
I'm going to go grab mine. Keep talking about yours and I'll grab mine.
Yeah, it's been way into crystals lately, stokers, and I even put one up my butt because I had writer's block. It just threw some citrine up there, and then I was like, "What's the deal with airplane food?" And that just shows the power of crystals, you know. I came up with a fire bit. Anyways, what's going on? Been listening to Joe Code. I asked Joe how big his load is, and he didn't answer my question.
No. Well,
How big do you think Joe's load is? Do you miss doing Joe Code?
I do.
I love listening to Joe Code. It's great.
Yeah, I still listen.
Yeah. Are you still listening?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's
I
great.
was listening to it right now, actually.
Really?
Up, yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
I love Joe
Although
Code.
there's some weird glitch I'm hearing on this episode.
Oh, really?
Where there's like, he's talking and you're hearing a delay of him talking.
Oh,
back.
interesting.
It's weird.
You lost your crystals?
No, they're around. I just can't find them.
Did you sage them? You know, because they pick up bad energy from people who touch them.
Really? No, no
Yeah.
one's touched them.
No, but people in the store.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, whoa.
You gotta sage that shit.
Damn.
Yeah. Clear out that negative energy.
Fuck.
I gotta sage myself a lot. You know, psychic vampires, they're out to get you.
I feel that.
Do you know what psychic vampires are?
No.
They're dudes who are out there trying to suck your energy.
Damn, why are they doing that?
I don't know. Why does anyone do anything?
It's true. They don't know what else to do. That's just the only thing they can do.
I saw a psychic vampire at Erewhon. Sorry.
No, go.
Just this guy, he was getting tortilla soup, and he just looked at me, and he was like, "The news, huh?" And I was like, "Get away from me, dude."
No shot.
Yeah.
Dude, should we answer some cues? I need your laptop, though.
Oh, yeah. What's up, dudes? I'm interrupting this podcast to let you know once again that we are brought to you by the legends at Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims peeled, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dinks are looking fresh and clean, because you got a bush, you got a dink, or a vagina, and the biggest thing is you got pubes. And what are you going to do with those pubes? Are you going to let them grow out? Are you going to let them go haywire? Are you going to let them say to your respective partner, "Hey, I'm doing whatever I want. I don't have someone asserting dominance on me. No, you don't want that. You want your pubes to say that they're being dominated by who? By you, using Manscaped products. I'm talking the Lawnmower 4.0. And then maybe if you're feeling randy, you get the Performance Package 4.0, where you freaking get a ton of freaking products. I'm talking about ball deodorant, hair and body wash, the Weed Whacker ear nose hair trimmer. Look at this box. I mean, this box is so beautiful. Sleek design, all that good stuff. It's basic landscaping. And it has skin safe technology, no nicks or cuts. And they got Crop Reviver spray on Testy toner. I mean, what other company is giving you that? No other company. So get on the train right now. I want you guys to get 20% off plus free shipping by using the code GODEEP at manscaped.com. Kate Bush may be trending at the moment, but your bush needs some help. So that's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use our code GODEEP. It's time you level up from the Amazon to the Amadong with the ultimate bushwhacking tools from Manscaped. All right. Oh, also we have tour dates. We're coming to a city near you. Check out tour dates at chadjt.com. Come check our show. It is a lot of fun, and you're going to love it. And I love you guys. All right, let's get back to the show. We had our appetizer draft.
Mm-hmm.
I love the hot debates going on. I'm getting kind of slammed, but I love it. I think it's a lot of fun. I think the people going after Strider, actually, I love Strider to death. I would, I'd jump on a grenade for that guy. But the people going after him for Brussels sprouts are really hilarious.
Dude, the quote you sent me.
Dude, I just called him a douchebag.
Yeah, one guy just goes, let me find it. Here it is. Brussels sprouts, really? What a douche. And the guy, have you seen what the guy looks like?
No.
He's like 50.
And he spelled douche, D-O-O-S-H.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, well, to Strider's credit, when you look at the graph and you haven't listened to the episode, you think he's just talking about straight Brussels sprouts, which you're like,
Yeah.
You see that and you're like, are you fucking serious? Compared to cheese fries? But I don't think people understood that it was Brussels sprouts with bacon and a lot of other, a nice sauce on there. They're just like, Strider is the worst draft again.
Look, I'm not going to say much. I don't want to kick a man when he's down, but just look at the wry smile on my face, all right? They're clearly not what he thought they were. He's good, though. That was a fun draft. I'm always glad when it kicks up some
heavy debate. Yeah. I wouldn't have anticipated that. But you know what? Everyone eats food. Everyone has opinions on food. Yeah. And now when I look at the graph, because I stand by my picks. I love them all. But you do look at yours and Chris's especially, when you just look at the things just all stacked. We have nachos,
wings, crab cakes, and cheese fries.
I mean, that's just heaven.
It's rock solid.
I would bathe in that. But my Poke Tower is still number one. People are like, what's a Poke Tower? I'm like, what do you think it is? Listen to the name, dipshit.
All right, here we go. Long-time listener of the pod, and would like to thank you two for the constant laughter and sound advice. I've recently found myself at a low point in my life. I've been dating an incredible girl for the past 3 years, but over the past couple of months, it started to go downhill. So I've been dating for 3 years. She wanted to go on a break with the aim of meeting again in mid-July to talk. Initially, we had a no hooking up with other people rule, but she decided she didn't want this rule. So we agreed we could hook up with other people, but to tell each other if we hooked up with someone else. Wanted to avoid hearing it through the grapevine. I hooked up with someone else recently, and after speaking with my therapist, decided I should come forward and tell her. Unsurprisingly, she was very upset and made me feel like garbage. I still love this girl and want to be with her, but I feel like I ruined it and have given her a reason to end it all. She still wants to meet in mid-July, but I'm thinking she just wants to dump me in person. Everyone I have spoken to about the situation said I shouldn't feel so bad because I didn't start the break and it wasn't my decision to not have a hookup agreement. Yet I am riddled with guilt and self-hatred. Any advice would be appreciated on how to navigate this situation.
Dude, I totally agree with your friends, man. I mean, she started the break. She established the rules. You originally wanted not to hook up with other people, and she didn't want that. And then you do it, and now she's upset. Totally unfair on her part. And I don't think you should feel guilty at all. Simple as that.
Yeah, you sound like you're just super in your head, man, and just like really beating yourself up. But like Strider always says, don't go 12 rounds with yourself. It all sounds like, this sounds super patronizing, but my therapist says it to me, and I'm 34. It all sounds very young. You know what I mean? Like, you guys not making, like, clear kind of, you're not making choices that are, like, protecting the relationship. You're both testing, like, boundaries, not in, like, a manipulative way, but you're both just, like, exploring while still trying to, like, be together. And it all sounds like a lot of mistakes are going to happen if that's the kind of way you're doing it. Yeah, I don't think you did anything wrong. I don't think she's upset because you hooked up with someone else, but I think you're future tripping a little bit, being like, she's going to break up with me. Like, she's probably not. And maybe you just want to break up, man. Maybe you don't want to be in this thing. I know you say you really love her, but like, I don't know, it sounds a little all over the place.
Yeah. I think once you get some time away from it, it's, you know, it sounds like a messy situation. I feel for him. He's been with her, what, 3 years?
Long time.
It's understandable that he's going to have these, like, conflicting feelings, but...
Yeah, and he feels like he should be taking care of her. Yeah, it's sweet.
Yeah.
It is nice.
From the objective standpoint, you're good. You're a good guy. You have nothing to worry about. You did nothing wrong. You stayed within the rules. And, you know what? When you go see her, order some Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, they'll have it on the sides part of the menu. And then, but dude, also I would say this too, like, it's so funny, I already forgot what I was going to say.
What a douche.
Dude, I'll give you a little mission after you hear this. Try not to talk about any of this for like a week. Just try and sit with it for like a week. I know when I think I did something wrong, I just call people off the hook, and it just makes the problem more. You just spiral more. So even like talking to your therapist and talking to your friends and writing into a podcast, I know it feels like you're going to get answers, but like you know the answer. You've gotten the answer. Just sit with it and just don't talk to anyone about it for a while and see how that feels. Not because it's not because you're hiding anything, but just to see what it feels like to just hold it. Yeah. All right. This one's kind of a bummer.
I have kind of a opposite take of you guys a little bit.
Go, baby.
Not that he did bad. I don't have that opposite take. I just think it's over and it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, you hooked up with somebody, you were willing to do that at the time, so you're willing to find someone else. I mean, like, I wouldn't be, and if you're young, especially, like, you don't always end up with the person you're with for even 3 years. Like, those peter out. She wanted to take a break. Why'd she want to take a break? Something's broken. So it's all right. You're going to be fine. Take care of yourself. Hang with the boys and do some stuff you've been wanting to do that you haven't done, and you'll get through it.
Sounds good. This one's kind of a bummer. What up, boys, and any esteemed guests? Longtime fan of the Stoke. So I recently got dumped by this girl who I was seeing for a few months, who I really liked. She said we had great chemistry and always had a good time when we were together, but she said she doesn't have that longing feeling for me when we're not together. Here's the issue. Past few years, I've been dumped 4 to 5 times now by girls I really liked, all of whom can't give a solid reason as to what it is about me that made them lose attraction, desire. All were 2 to 4 month relationships. It's really messing with me mentally, especially in terms of confidence. Like, is something wrong with me that girls only discover after getting to know me better? Am I trying to better myself? I'm trying to better myself, so I was thinking of contacting my exes and seeing if they can give me a little more context as to what it was. Is this a good or a bad idea? Any recs on how to approach that convo with them? Or just any recs for this struggling fella? Thank you, legends, and sorry for the long background. Cheers. Dude, little context. I Googled this guy. He's really handsome.
Really?
Yeah. He's like a really good-looking guy.
Interesting.
There's your problem.
Yeah, dude, you're too handsome. Dude, who knows? Yeah, who knows? I would look, thinking positively on it. Do you know how many guys would be dying for the past few years to have dated 4 to 5 gals? You know what I mean? Like, you're clearly not having problems meeting people and at least getting them invested to some degree. I think maybe, and I don't mean to be Pollyannish, maybe you just haven't met the right person yet. Maybe none of these were your person. And maybe you have some peculiarities or things about you that is not, grokking with these other gals, but maybe they're just not the right gal. I just, like, if you want to take space from dating to figure it out, go for it. But I think just as fair, if you keep dating, you're going to meet someone who's all in. That's just the process.
Yeah, I agree. And dude, I dealt with that in like college and stuff, of like not being able to get like a long-term thing. And oftentimes it's because I liked them too much and I would, it was like it's way too clingy.
Yeah, too soon, yeah.
Yeah, especially in college, I'd be like, this girl who I was like crushing on, then like hook up and I'd be like, no way, and I'd just all over them.
Yep.
Scare them off. That was my issue.
And weren't they all smoke shows too?
What's up?
Weren't they all smoke shows?
They were hot. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all hot, right? Yeah, well, sorry, I know he wanted to be anonymous. Bleep that. Bleep his name. You might just be dating super hot chicks, dude.
Dude, that's I mean, if you're dating a lot of hot chicks, that's how it goes down a lot of the time. And you know what? And so I would just keep doing just keep focus on yourself and building your own life and focusing on that, because I found that you can implement all the like dating tricks or whatever, of like being like detached or whatever. But I think at the end of the day, it just comes down to if you're like trying to truly attract someone and keep them, it all just comes down to who you are as a person, so, and I don't think there's anything wrong with you, but if you have your life, I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you have your life and you're super invested in what you're doing and you're excited about what you're doing in your life, that's going to be attractive to someone else. So I think as long as you focus on that, then the right person will come along, and then you'll meet that person and you'll be like, oh, this is the person, then you guys will be together. So I think I wouldn't worry too much about, just keep living.
Yeah, and I think also, dude, like, sort of piggybacking off what Chad's saying, like, do you feel like you're truly being yourself in these relationships? Maybe just be weird. Just be a weird guy. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
just be weird. If you're weird, be weird.
Yeah.
And then you'll filter out people quicker, and the people who stay will be a better match. And just don't hold back. Just keep doing what you're doing. But maybe it could be, I think he's probably doing that. I think he's probably clinging to people and being a little needy.
Yeah.
But to me, that's not being weird. To me, that's just being afraid of not having someone with you, and you're not actually being yourself. I'm saying be your full, eccentric, colorful self, and just see what happens after that. You might have better luck.
Yeah, totally.
Because I think people respond to that. It's like authenticity or something like that.
Yeah.
And wanting to better yourself is great, but do not contact your exes about it.
To the exes thing. Yeah, it was a good movie, High Fidelity. I do a little bit of that. I'll do the.
I know you do.
I'll do the old anatomy of a murder and call up the ex. Hey, what happened there? It's always nice to reconnect a little bit and no bad blood.
But there might be. So
there might be, but well, hey, it's up to them if they pick up the phone.
You want to give them a gun while you're at it? Sure.
Look, I reserve the right to torture anyone I've loved for the rest of my life.
No.
Nice.
I'm kidding. I try to keep it small, but yeah, dude, call up all your exes. But I think you're saying that might set him back farther. If he does that.
It's just gonna hurt. I mean, it's not growth. It's just you're being masochistic.
You're being a masochist. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Have you ever contacted an ex? I'm like, what happened there?
No, only drunk in like college. I was like, what did you do to me? I remember one time I was, you remember when like, you remember those, when I was younger and stuff, like, and I think a lot of people have that fantasy of like just laying it on someone, telling them how much they hurt you and like how much it affected you. when in retrospect, that's like the most pathetic thing you can do, as opposed to just being like, yeah, whatever. But anyways, so I just you just get drunk and you're like, I almost had to go to therapy because of you.
Right.
And so I remember one time there's this girl I was like, you really hurt me. I hate you. Like whatever. And she was like, we were never exclusive. I was like, oh, what? What? That still hurts. So don't do it.
I mean, I've told a few girls that I've dated to go die in a fire, so I really can't.
Oh, you
call
have?
them.
Oh, see, when I call back an ex, I wait till the pain has subsided, so I sound like a happy person on the phone. Yeah, I'm coming at it from a perspective of like, hey, everything's good over here. How you doing?
Yeah.
But deep down, I'm fucking with them.
Yeah.
But lightly.
Yeah.
I just want them to know I'm okay. Yeah. Yeah, so bleep his name out again. But if you're gonna call them, yeah, don't be too hurt when you call them. Or go all the way with it and just call them and be like, they're like, hello, and you're like, they're like, who is this? And you're like, I've never been the same. I will never be the same since you fucking walked away, you stupid bitch. You stupid bitch. That's I'm kind of this on one of the seasons of America's Next Top Model, the nerdy girl who like was a great model though. She had like when they would put the makeup on her, you're like, holy shit, it was crazy. They were doing shoots with like Italian model guys, and they all came over on their Vespas, and they all got in the hot tub, and she just went fucking nutty with some dude in the hot tub, and fucked some dude. And she had a boyfriend back home, and she calls him. It's so funny, dude. She calls him, and she's like, I did the worst thing I could do. And the guy goes, you fuck somebody! And then he starts crying. It's really sad, but it's really funny. He starts crying, and then he just goes, you stupid bitch.
Wait, what's the song?
America's Next Top Model.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, throw up the clip. Jack, can you throw up the clip? It's so funny.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Just please tell me what you did.
Okay.
Just tell me.
It's maybe the worst possible thing I could do.
You had sex? I don't know. It happened last night. Oh, you've changed. You're not Shandy. To cheat on someone you've known for 4 years. I never thought you could do that.
I didn't think so either.
Then you think back to everything we've been through? You think about how we wanted to be together forever. Then you throw it away. You stupid bitch.
Man.
Yeah, when you say it like that from that place of pain, it's funny. All right, here's another. All right, should we do a heavy question or a light question? We got another.
I think we gotta do a light one. Then
Yeah, we got another guy who's pining for someone. I'm just gonna tell this guy real quick, Dan, who doesn't know if he should reach out to this girl he broke up with because he's still in love with her.
Don't.
Am I overthinking? Just you're saying don't?
No.
I'm gonna go quick. Just call her. Tell her you love her. Just do it. Just do it. Just call her and tell her you love her. What's the worst that's gonna happen? You're gonna find out it's not what you should do, but you need to find out. Go do it. Go do it.
Aaron Cam, big head shake on that.
Aaron did the opposite of cream.
Yeah.
He just did a whip it.
It brought it in.
All right. Shotgunning. Hey, Chad and JT, how do I get faster at shotgunning beers? Any tips from the party bros themselves?
Just repetition, man. Just repetition. You know, maybe do some throat opening exercises. You know, I don't know what those entail, but I would just start chugging everything. Chug everything. Start in the morning with chug your water, chug your cold brew, chug your green juice, chug your tonic, chug your Diet Coke, and then chug that shotgun at night.
Same deal, dude. I'm not very good at shotgunning, so this is.
Yeah.
But I'll give you baseline advice, dude. You know, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, man. How do you write a great play? You read a lot of plays. You just got to do the thing. Just never not be shotgunning. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Shotgunning beers. Getting that muscle memory in place. Getting your gullet smooth and lax. And before long, you'll be top dog, dude. Just go. Just shotgun. It's such a great word.
Yeah.
Shotgun a brew.
Shotgun. It's my favorite.
Chad, you ready for the next part?
Yes, sir.
Chad, what's your beef of the week, dude?
All right, this beef is probably my biggest beef of all time. And I do not say that lightly. My beef is with this new internet campaign against teabagging. Sorry.
How dare they?
So, according to this article, let me read the article. Teabagging, or tactical squatting, has long since been a form of communication in online games, namely first-person shooters like Call of Duty and Halo. Though whether it should be is a different matter altogether. Typically, this is performed by crouching repeatedly while standing over an enemy player's body or face. Most players see the action as a form of trolling opponents or asserting dominance. That's correct. Though recent arguments in the gaming community have called into question whether or not teabagging is sexual assault. According to the dictionary definition, teabagging is the act of placing one's testicles in the mouth of another person, often repeatedly, raising and lowering it like a person dipping the tea bag. However, someone on Discord is saying that without consent, this is sexual assault. And I'm just here to say no. No, and I'm not going to stand for this. I'm not going to stand for the slander against teabagging. Teabagging has been around for generations, and it's going to stay around for generations as the premier form of asserting dominance after getting a kill in a first-person shooter. If we don't have teabagging in video games, where are baggers going to take out the aggression? I don't know. The real world, maybe. And you don't want that to happen. Although I've been teabagged in person by Kevin, and I kind of enjoy it. That's neither here nor there. Anyways, I'm just here to say, nah, fuck you. And I'm going to teabag as many people as I possibly can. I'm going to keep doing it. Although to ask a player you just down for consent to teabag would be really hilarious.
Yeah, if they had like a button for that, like you click Y and it just like pops up like yes, no, and they have to click it.
Dude, I would click yes every time.
Yes, teabag me. Yes, teabag me.
Anyways, I'm pissed. This is the biggest atrocity I think I've ever heard of, and is nothing sacred anymore. Like I at least thought that I could teabag for the rest of my life, and I don't want to live in a world where that's not a thing.
Yeah, I think they should also have like a suicide option in those games where you can just blow your own brains out. Yeah. And then afterwards, I'll just click yes, please teabag me, and I'll do that for the remainder of the game.
Dude, thank you, man. Yeah. I love getting teabagged. That's the thing. It's not like I like to teabag people, and then when people do it to me, I get all pissed. When I get teabagged, I love it. I just love seeing those virtual nuts just coming in my face. I'm like, yeah, I deserve that shit. And I don't know, man. I mean, like, I'm just thinking down the line. Would you trust a president who hadn't been teabagged before?
I haven't thought about that. Or I have thought about that. No. That was part of the reason I voted for Biden.
He'd be a good person to teabag. Do you think when he fell off his bike,
he was kind of begging for it?
There was that big crowd around him, so you never know. It could happen.
You can cut a clip of you teabagging Biden after that. Take it. And he'd probably be cool about it.
Yeah, he'd be like, come on, man. But
come
smiling.
on, man. Grow up a little bit.
Yeah. Come on, don't teabag me, Jack. That's hilarious.
Dude.
Aaron, you got a beef? Oh, Chad's got more beef. Sorry.
Well, I'm going to make it my babe.
Oh, okay, cool.
I just like that this article doesn't object to people killing each other in video games. Just what they do after, how they celebrate.
Right, like the violence is okay.
But
the teabagging is where it gets a little too gruesome.
My beef of the week is with these four teenage guys who showed up to my softball game last night. It was a 9:00 game. We're playing a team we haven't seen in a while, but I don't know. Either way, it doesn't matter. Game's I mean, we're crushing these guys. It's fun. But they're also super negative towards each other. It's really weird. They're all just speaking Spanish and just talk about teabagging someone. Just like anytime anyone made an error, it was like, fuck you, your mom's a whore,
Whoa.
you stupid dog. Yeah, it was insane. And some of their players afterwards were talking about quitting. That's
Like
how
on their
bad-
own team?
Yeah, including on their own team. It was insane. But in like the middle of the first inning or second inning, these 4 teenage boys show up. One of them is shirtless. It's pretty ripped for a teenage boy. Shirtless, wearing the giant like sunglasses that look like a snowboarder's visor almost, like, and that's it. Just shirtless and with those on. It's again dark out. And they were just commenting throughout the game, and it was like I didn't really pay much attention to it because it didn't really bother me until towards the end of the game, where I'm throwing a pitch, and one of them says our team is Pizza Party. He says pizza as I'm about to release the ball, purposely to distract me. And as soon as I let go of it, and I don't know how long it was before I just said shut up, and just stared at these fucking kids. And like, I will come at you, motherfuckers. And they'd already been spoken to by several players. I think Vertrees said he went over and talked to them too, like, to get them to shut up. And that's like final straw. Like, you don't talk in someone's backswing. You don't say something while someone's about to swing the bat. And you definitely don't do it when daddy's doing his fucking work.
Let's go.
And these kids left right after I did that. So,
Dude,
message received, but also get the fuck out of here.
did you verbally bag them?
I did. I verbally bagged them.
Nice, dude.
Get out of here.
I wish I knew what they look like so I could go over and find them and teabag them.
I would like to see that.
My beef of the week. What's my beef of the week? Chad, who's your baby of the week?
That's honorable of you. My baby of the week is another beef. No, my baby of the week. Sorry, I'm gonna make my. Yeah, my baby of the week is my other beef.
Yeah, because you had a lot of beef this week.
Yeah, I'm a two beef. I'm on a two beef week.
Wow.
To anyone who doesn't know, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to drop this bomb on you. Splash Mountain is being renamed.
What?
I don't even know what the rename is. Like Tatiana's Adventure. What the fuck is that? And you know what? The reason for it, I get it. It's the theme song of the South used racist stereotypes. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
It won an
Yeah.
Oscar, but yeah. It did. Zippity Doodah won an Oscar.
Is it right?
That song's racist?
Apparently.
The movie was, yeah. That's, you can't find it anywhere.
What movie?
Song of the South. It's a Disney film.
Yeah, the name kind of the song of the South.
Yeah. And look, I get it, you know. If you want to replace the song, replace the song. You want to make a new story. That's fine, I guess. I don't know. But just like, why are you renaming it?
Yeah.
Like Tatiana's Adventure? Like Splash Mountain, I'm pretty sure
Tells
those
you
two
what-
words aren't racist.
Tells you what it is.
And pretty universal.
Yeah.
Splash and Mountain.
Yeah. Tatiana's Adventure. I mean, it better, if you guys are going to redo that whole ride, it better be sick as fuck.
Yeah, and Tatiana's like a hot name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Her
I want
adventure sounds hot.
I want Tatiana to be hot, and I want her adventure to be hot. You know, I want to get a wet. Yeah, no, sorry. Probably not the best.
It's the
way
princess
to-
from Princess and the Frog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like if we want to fight the good fight, we shouldn't get too horned up.
Yeah. But I don't know, dude. I mean, just keep the name Splash Mountain. I'm pretty sure the word splash isn't racist, and I'm pretty sure the word mountain isn't racist. And I think the two combined, I think it just means getting wet. And as far as I can tell, I don't think that's racist. So I think you can keep the name and do whatever you want with the ride. Just make sure it still has the log drop. And yeah, that's my beef.
That's where I saw my first celebrity.
Who?
7th grade. Saw Sinbad on Splash Mountain.
Dude, he's a legend.
He is.
I heard he's
Great
such a
comic.
good comic.
Yeah.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
Dude, his stand up rips.
Yeah.
He's so goddamn funny.
Totally improvised.
It doesn't
Yeah.
look like he has to try at all.
That's
He's
awesome.
so comfortable up there.
That's
it's
awesome.
crazy. Aaron, who's your baby of the week?
My babe/legend of the week is The Kids in the Hall.
Oh yeah, they got a new show, right?
Yeah, it's been a while. I've been meaning to say it, but I've been absent from the show for a little bit. It's just so funny. They're still so good at like age 60, like they were in their 20s, dude. It's amazing.
It's nice to have a sketch comedy show too with people in their 60s. You just don't see that very often.
They totally address it all the time, and just like, hey, maybe, there are definitely points where they're like, yeah, we don't fit in this sketch because we're old, but they still go with it. And it's super fun. And then they do stuff that only they could do in their 60s, which is fun.
That's awesome.
Dude, I do have a beef of the week.
Oh, nice.
I'll make Kat my babe. My beef, Kevin Durant.
Oh, yeah. What's he doing?
This fucking guy. Kevin Durant, one of the greatest basketball players I've ever seen. 7 feet tall, good handle, impossible jump shot to defend, can hit it from anywhere, so smooth out on the court, never looks like he's forcing it. Truly a special basketball player. But he started off in Oklahoma City in like 2012, I want to say, maybe even a little bit earlier. They had like this incredible young nucleus with him and Russell Westbrook and James Harden. They get to the finals way before most teams that age get there, because normally you need like a little more, veteran leadership or whatever. They lose to LeBron's Heat. No shame in that. The next year, they almost make it back, but then I think they get beat by the Spurs. And then the next year, they almost make it back. They lose Harden. And then they get beat by the Warriors. Clay goes crazy on them. Way to go, Clay. Durant leaves Oklahoma City, goes to Golden State. After Golden State had already won a championship and just lost in the next one, he went to the 73-9 Golden State Warriors. So it's rare for a guy who might be the best player in the league to go to the best team in the league. It's just like not how we were traditionally raised to think superstars should act. But it was like the player empowerment era. It's like, all right, whatever. Let him go where he wants to go. Let him be happy. They win 2 titles. They lose the third because everybody gets hurt. He leaves Golden State, goes to New Jersey. He stacks the deck again. They get Kyrie Irving, James Harden. Doesn't work out for a bunch of reasons. Now he's requesting a trade, and who knows how specific it really was. But the team he requested to get traded to is the Suns, who had the best record in the NBA and have like a couple of studs on the team. So it just looks like every time it gets tough, Kevin Durant will go to the best team available and just be that little extra they need to get over the top. But at a certain point, you do look like you're running from a challenge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It looks like, as Damian Lillard famously talked trash to Paul George, who had kind of done a similar thing, he said, you keep running from a tough time and I'll keep putting in that work. And he might get traded to the Trailblazers too, which would put him with Lillard. But I don't know. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. And I like Durant, but I was saying some mean things about him in my text thread yesterday with the Xbox boys. I was throwing out some ugly phrases. I was drunk, and I felt like he set himself up for it. And when I saw the news on SportsCenter, I commented, ha 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 ha. I laughed at him.
Yeah, Kevin Durant, you're a bitch.
That's what I said. I called him a bitch. I said, what a bitch.
Yeah.
It's so fun to call an athlete a bitch.
Yeah.
Just these, like specimens of what humanity can create. And then you're just like, yeah, too bad you're a bitch, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, go to the Suns. Go to the Suns.
Chad, who's your legend of the week?
My legend of the week is Rob Lowe's hair.
Bro.
Dude, could not stop staring at it.
How's it so thick?
It's so thick, amazing hairline. Just, he's got a balayage in there, I'm pretty sure. It was just fantastic.
You literally said that to me in between takes. There's like 50 people on set.
Yeah.
Me and Chad just finished a fucking searing take. Chad just leans over and goes, I think he has a balayage.
I love his hair, dude. I was admiring it. I was just looking at it. I was like, it's so odd. I was like, I was just looking at his hair. I was like, that's so awesome. You're awesome. And then you just ripped it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So wait, Babe and Legend are separate again?
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's okay.
I prepared just for one of the two.
You can improv it.
I mean, I will say, we took down the Rick Glassman episode, so I lost my shout out to the legend that I ran into at Ralph's. The stoker I ran into at Ralph's who recognized me despite I was wearing a mask.
Oh, nice, dude.
And everything. So shout out to him again. Thanks for and Eagle Eyes for spotting me out in the wild.
My legend of the week is, you know what? I'm gonna run it back. I've done it a million times. I'm gonna do it again. It's Bruce Springsteen.
Nice.
Dude, I was watching his music video for the song Brilliant Disguise. So the whole song, it's about his breakup to his first wife. And it's crazy how vulnerable he is. Like, I mean, he's a superstar, and he's talking very personally about this breakup. I mean, through poetry, but it's pretty easy to see what he's talking about. And so the song is just one take of him playing the guitar, and the camera just slowly pushes in. And for the first couple verses, he's saying, "Am I really seeing you, babe? Is that you, or just a brilliant disguise?" But then by the end of it, he talks about himself, and he goes, "And when you look at me, look close and like look tight. Is that me, baby? Or is it a brilliant disguise?" And by that point, the camera's in a full close-up. So you think you're looking, well, you are looking at him being very vulnerable and just staring straight at the camera. And you're like, that's him being real. But he's literally telling you, is this me or is it a brilliant disguise? And so he's almost calling himself out to the audience, being like, this isn't me. I'm lying. And you're like, whoa, that's powerful.
That's awesome.
Right.
And to just put himself out there like that, that's why he remains the boss. The bossy boss. Chad, what's your quote of the week?
So my quote of the
He was
week.
in your frontman draft.
He was.
He's your number.
I got him
3 or
third.
4, yeah.
My quote of the week comes from just a moment on the Bill Simmons podcast when he's interviewing Jeff Bridges that I just thought was just delightful, where you're just like, man, Jeff Bridges is awesome. He's talking about, Bill Simmons is making the argument that they shouldn't make remakes of movies where you can watch, like, where the original is just kind of timeless, like you can just watch it anytime and still love it, you know?
That's a good point, yeah.
And Jeff Bridges goes, well, here's my counter argument. True Grit. And he goes, I think Bill Simmons says, I forget what he says, and then Jeff Bridges goes, it's a total remake, man. Just the way he said it, I was like, God, I love this guy. He's like, it's a total remake, man.
It's a good Jeff Bridges.
And I just thought, I don't know. He's just like, every time I hear Jeff Bridges in an interview and stuff, I'm like, he just sounds like the coolest dude that I would love to hang out with.
Dude, it's funny. I was talking about him the other day. I think he's my favorite actor.
Yeah.
Like, or not my favorite actor. Him and Charles Grodin's probably my favorite actor, but he's the actor I would most like to be like.
Yeah.
And someone mentioned it about him. They go, he's never uttered a false word.
Yeah.
Like, he never fakes something.
Yeah.
Maybe as he's gotten older, he's gotten a little bigger.
Well, his cowboy accent.
That's the thing. As he's gotten older, he's gotten a little hammier. But if you look at like those older parts, like in like Fabulous Baker Boys or something, it just looks like a regular dude just existing. I mean, but
Yeah.
it's still got some sizzle on it.
Yeah.
Because that's something I'm learning about acting too. You do have to sell it a lot.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll just deliver stuff. It's too flat. I'm just like,
Yeah.
hey, what'd you do with the paperwork? It's like, that doesn't work in acting. You have to be
Yeah.
like, hey man, what did you do with the paperwork? And then all of a sudden that's like better on camera for some reason.
Yeah.
Even though it seems like totally
Yeah, there's like
big.
There's like a weird sort of medium. Yeah, well, I think you have to adjust to like the tone and the comedy, drama, and stuff. Because if it's like Robert De Niro and like Heat, you know, against like Al Pacino, it's all kind of subtle and like on your face. But then if you're in comedy, it's like you gotta like rise up to the.
You got to amp it up a bit.
Yeah, I think it's all just kind of. That's what's tough, is like figuring out, you know, what's too much, what's like.
Matthew McConaughey said about rom-coms.
Yeah.
They were talking about like, they're like, how can you do like Dallas Buyers Club when he had his whole reconnaissance?
Yeah.
And he was like, look, it's hard acting in rom-coms. He's like, that's a different thing. He's like, you go too deep, you sink the ship.
Yeah.
And it's true. You have to keep it like light and bouncy.
Yeah, they get over how embarrassing it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's really what it is.
That's what it is. Fucking A, man. Aaron,
I
what's your
borrow
quote?
that from Mark Maron, who I believe got that from Ted Danson one day on a set. Just
Really? And dude, Maron got way better. If you watch Maron's show, Maron on IFC, like the acting, he's not that great in it. But then you watch him in like Glow and you're like, holy fuck, he figured it out. Yeah.
Totally. My quote of the week, if you weren't aware, today is Bobby Bonilla Day.
Love this day.
July 1st of every year, the New York Mets pay him $1.1 million from 2000 to 2035. Because they signed him to it was a
50-year deal?
No, well, they signed him to what was originally supposed to be a 5-year deal, I think, for $8 million. But they were in financial troubles at the time because they had they'd gotten burned by Bernie Madoff.
Wait, who is
which
this?
came out later. Bobby Bonilla. He's just a baseball player.
Okay.
He used to be on the Pirates with Barry Bonds, and then moved around a bunch, and later in 2000 was on the Mets.
Okay.
2000. He was on the Cardinals his last season. But so they're like, we're in really bad shape, Bobby. Can you help us out? He's like, sure, I'll defer my salary. And somehow he worked it so that they have to pay him $1.1 million on July 1st from 2000 to 2035.
What a legend.
Yeah, he gets a
So
million
his
dollars every
his
30.
deal went from being a 5-year, $8 million deal or whatever. It has interest on it as well, to being worth like $25 million.
That's awesome.
Genius.
Yeah. So my math is a little off there because I think it didn't start in 2000. It started maybe in 2010 or something like that.
Yeah.
Max Scherzer, who's currently playing for the Mets, is making $40 million for the Mets. He just got some deferred money from Washington, $15 million.
Wow.
So he's making 55 this year.
I'm deferring.
Ken
all my
Griffey.
checks.
Yeah.
Ken Griffey received $3.5 million from the Reds this year because of deferred money.
Wow.
He hasn't played for them since 2008.
Wow.
It's insane. But good on them.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I found a quote from Bobby Bonilla. He was always a kind of a brash guy, and he was like Barry Bonds light a little bit. He was way more likable. But he says, "I'm not afraid to swing the bat. If they elect to pitch to me, I'm going to swing. I'm not as picky as Mr. Sheffield," which I like. He says Mr. Sheffield.
Oh, that's
Sheffield.
nice.
I'll swing at something over my head.
That's awesome.
Just,
Yeah, Sheffield had a good eye.
I mean,
Had that 400 on base.
yeah, Bobby was a switch hitter. He was a solid player.
My quote of the week is from this book I'm reading now. I'm into presidents now. I'm reading The Bully Pulpit about Theodore Roosevelt and William Taft. I'd started it before, but now I'm getting into it more seriously. And Theodore Roosevelt, who gets like jobs that no one else wants in government, and he just like loves them and like really takes them seriously. He's like, I'm gonna make change. And he's got a job where he's just trying to make sure that people aren't hiring solely based on party, but they're hiring based off like merit. And so he comes into the office. No one's ready for this guy's energy. And one of the guys in there just said, "I recognized him instantly as a fine specimen of vigorous manhood." Hell yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
He was big on that.
He's a
He
vigorous
would take foreign leaders on a hike, and if they couldn't hang, he wouldn't respect them.
Wow.
That's right. You got to beast him, bro. Get moving. Chat, what's your phrase of the week for getting after it?
My phrase of the week for getting after it is let's put some barbecue on that sauce.
Ooh, I like that. That works.
That's a funny thing for getting after it when you're just like, what are we doing tonight, boys? And you're like, I got nothing.
I got nothing. We've all been there. Mine isn't a phrase. It's just a little video if you guys want to feel good and you just want to get some energy for the night. I've watched it a ton this week. There's a big brawl in baseball between the Angels and Mariners. My favorite baseball brawl of all time, and there's been some good ones, is when the Yankees and the Red Sox were about to get into a fight, and Don Zimmer was pissed off at Pedro Martinez. And Pedro Martinez, there's video of him talking shit to people, but you can't hear what they're saying. And over the years, he just basically said everyone who he says the other person he was talking shit to kept saying stuff about his mom. There's no way that's what they said, but I love that that's where he goes because he knows we'll all be like, yeah, Pedro's right. But Don Zimmer, what was he at the time? 72?
Yeah.
72-year-old little pudge ball.
Former player, but a long time ago.
Just pudge ball bald. Manager's just like, fuck Pedro Martinez. I'm going to fuck him up. He charges at Pedro and it's on camera. And Pedro looks at him like this when he's running at him. He's like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Don Zimmer bull rushes him. Pedro Martinez just grabs him by the head and throws him to the ground. And his fat body roly-polies on the ground. And he's just laying there all old and discombobulated. And the commentators, I think it's Joe Buck's like, oh my God, the humanity. He's like, Don Zimmer's down. This is getting ugly out there. And Pedro's just like, what'd you want me to do, man? What'd you want? He doesn't hurt him more than he had to. Like, I think Pedro was actually pretty even keeled about it. Like, but the old guy just runs him and like, there's this moment right before, the funniest part is Pedro grabbing his head and just laying him to the ground.
Yeah.
But the moment where Pedro recognizes that this old fuck is charging him, and he just goes, huh? And then he looks at him, he's like, be careful, man. What are you going to do? Be careful, man. What are you doing? And just grabs him and chucks him. And yeah, I think if you watch that, you'll have a really fun night because it never fails to put a smile on my face.
I got to watch that.
I'll show it to you, man. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
If you need advice, these guys are really